Hello, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about North Carolina tax for a change. You've heard it said that big companies move slow, and especially bureaucratic governments move slow. Well, this is definitely slow. North Carolina finally it has signed into law a piece of sweeping tax reform to the tax code in North Carolina. The last time North Carolina significantly overhauled their tax system, almost 80 years ago, before you were born. Well, on July 17th, the governor and the North Carolina Congress finally agreed to a proposal of sweeping tax legislation in North Carolina. The Tar Heel State now has dropped from being one of the highest taxed states in the country to a little more reasonable. This is good news if you are currently paying the top North Carolina tax rate on your personal income of 7.5%. You're going down to 5.8%. North Carolina also, with this legislation, reduced or lowered to some degree the corporate tax rate. I guess they were losing too many corporations to South Carolina or Virginia. So they're finally trying to get a little bit more competitive. And North Carolina completely did away with the estate tax. So let me unpack a few of these items. I'll try to just hit the high points here. And I want to tell you whether or not this is good news or bad news. By the way, feel free to click on the link below if you would like to read in more detail about these changes. All right, so let's start with the top. Oh, by the way, here's one thing that's not great, and this is not a huge thing, but if you are one of those consumers who love to get out there and take advantage of the sales tax holiday a couple of times a year in the state, you better do it this year. The two planned for 2014, which is August and November of 14, have been removed. They are no longer going to be there, so take advantage of them in 2013. All right, so is this good news or bad news? Well, what North Carolina did is they went away from a progressive income tax structure to a flat tax. Now, all of those of you out there who are clamoring for, hey, the federal government should go to a flat tax, well, if you're a supporter of that, just point to North Carolina. We have now gone to a flat tax. This is good news if you're currently, as I said, in the higher tax bracket. If you're in the lower North Carolina tax bracket, your taxes, I guess, are going up. That is the good news, hopefully, for you. The bad news is that the personal exemptions we enjoy in North Carolina on our personal tax return are gone. The potentially good news is if we don't itemize in North Carolina, if we take the standard deduction, then it is good news. Our standard deduction is going to more than double. It's going from $6,000 in 2014 to $15,000 in 2014. Most of us, though, do itemize and do not take the standard deduction. Good news, the code is not changing the current rules on Social Security income. They will continue in North Carolina to exempt that from tax. The bad news, we have been able to also take a deduction on our state return for any retirement money we're drawing, or up to $35,000 of severance wages that we get. Both of those are now gone. Those will be fully taxable. A huge itemized deduction at the state level, just as it is at the federal level, is an itemized deduction for mortgage interest on our house and property taxes. North Carolina is keeping those, but they're capping them. Of your itemized deductions, those two are capped at $20,000. We still do get to keep the benefit of the charitable deductions. That has not gone away, so that's good news. Here's some really bad news. It was up in the air for a long time. The wonderful, wonderful $50,000 deduction we get on North Carolina personal tax return if we own a business. If you recall, this was great news in 2012, on your 2012 tax return. If you own a business and that business had a profit, North Carolina let you exclude the first $50,000 of your profit from the North Carolina income tax. We were wondering, well, is that just for 2014? No, it's also, I'm happy to say, for 2013 at the full $50,000 level. This is if you're married, by the way. But it drops off like a cliff. 2014, it is gone. No phase out, it just goes away. So I don't want to tell you make a profit in 2013 and have a horrible year in 2014, but to the extent you can, that will help you for taxes. There are a lot of other things. Here's one, sales tax on entertainment services. So in 2014, when you and your family go out to see a movie, or go to tour a museum, or go to see a live theater production, let's say, or a concert, the admission ticket will now be grossed up for sales tax. So come to South Carolina, I guess, if you want to see a movie or a play. So there will be sales tax on live entertainment services. There was also a lot of talk and a lot of flack North Carolina has been receiving from lobbyist group, including the CPA group. Should North Carolina start charging sales taxes on services your CPA provides? We're not out of the woods on that yet, but it's been kicked down the road a little bit. Congress in North Carolina is going to delay figuring that out. What they have implemented, though, beginning next year, is sales taxes on certain service contracts. And here are the ones: warranty agreements, maintenance agreements, repair contracts, other contracts to maintain or repair certain tangible property in the state. That may be a sign of other sales taxes that are coming down the road. I don't know. All right, quickly to the corporate side. The top corporate tax rate in the state is going to drop from 6.9% down to 6%, as I said earlier, to make, I guess, the state more competitive. That is in 2014. It goes even lower in 2015. It goes down to only 5%. And if North Carolina brings in enough revenue and meets certain goals that the legislature has set, in 2016 it could be as low as 4%, followed by a downward plummet to 3% in 2017. Let's keep hoping North Carolina meets those goals. And like I said, the estate tax is completely going to be repealed. I could say a lot more, but you're probably tired of listening. Thank you for your attention. And at least North Carolina, for a lot of us, is getting more competitive. Have a great day.